As Wes said, my name is Corinne Gonzalez. I'm going to turn off my subtitles really quick. They keep turning on. Um, but I serve as an academic success coach here at the Newark campus. But a few fun facts about me is that I am a first year first graduated Buckeye. I'm a first gen student, and I have graduated from the Newark campus. I was in a learning community at the Newark campus, and then I got my master's degree at Ohio State just this past August. So I'm a two-time Buckeye, and I really love talking about our learning communities that we have at the Newark campus, not only because I was in one, but I was a peer coach, and I ran them for several years. So I'm going to have a little bit of time to talk about these with you today. And then if you have questions, I'm happy to address any of those. So we have six learning communities on our campus here. So first is our Buckeye Generation Learning Community. Then we have our Scarlet and Gray Excellence Learning Community. We have an engineering program, our education, teaching, and learning, global citizens, and Ohio Means Science. I'm going to go over these in a lot more detail, but I wanted to provide a little bit of information on each of those for you guys. So overall, what do you get as being in a learning community? You may be thinking, what is a learning community? So a learning community really is an opportunity to be a part of a great program overall. Our students in these programs do well academically, personally. They're getting that support from day one. These are students who are engaging both in the classroom with their peers and outside of the classroom. They're forming connections with faculty, and we've been running these programs for 12 years now. And each year, our data shows that our students are successful. And so we want you to be in these programs and get to be a part of something great. So we do have a few expectations of our students who are in the learning community. So the first is that they take learning community courses across the year. So each program has specific courses that are designed and put into these programs. They fit the mission of each program, and I'll talk about those here in a little bit. We also ask that our students connect with the faculty, staff, and peers. So we have faculty who teach those courses for the programs, the staff members who are involved, so our learning community coordinator, and then the peers in the program and your peer coaches. We also ask that our students engage in the activities and experiences that are available to them. So whether that's going to events and engaging in those things with our students, or maybe it's checking out this new event that we've got going on, or this experience that I'll get to share a little bit more of some of those exciting things that we get to do. And then the last thing I would ask is that our students are open to new possibilities. You come to college and there's a whole new world that opens up, a lot more experiences that you can have. And so we ask you to be open to those new possibilities and being ready to take on a challenge, right? So I'll first start with our Buckeye Generation Learning Community. This is our oldest learning community. This is actually the learning community that I was in when I was a student. This started in 2012, and it's for 60 first generation college students. So a first generation college student is a student whose parents didn't get a bachelor's degree in the United States. And so that's how we define it here at Ohio State. So if that's you, you would be eligible to be in this program. So a few of the benefits, our students in this program receive one-on-one support and connections with the faculty and staff throughout their major in that first year. So I'll talk a little bit about the classes, which I'll jump down to the last bullet point, but we hand select our faculty for those classes. Specifically with Buckeye Generation, our students will take History of Art with Dr. Calhoun in the fall, and then Anthropology with Dr. Aubrey in the spring. And these faculty are first-gen faculty. They understand the experience, and they're there to help you throughout that first year and with connecting to your major as well. And the staff will also be there. So folks like myself, an academic success coach and learning community coordinator, will be working with you through your first year to help you make those connections, to provide that personal and academic support for you throughout your entire time here in your first year. We also provide opportunities for experiential learning trips. So you'll see this with a lot of our learning communities. Specifically with the Buckeye Generation Learning Community, we've gotten the chance to go to the Cleveland Museum of Modern Art in the past. We've also taken students to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before when we were taking classes more surrounding music. We've done things like going to the Columbus campus to see that campus and helping with that transition. So lots of opportunities to get off campus to make those connections early and have that unique hands-on learning in some situations. An additional benefit of this program is that our students receive a $500 academic scholarship. Now, that's to help with things like books and school supplies because, as we know, books can be expensive, and so we want to help with that as well. We also help with that support for the transition to Columbus campus. So like Wes said, that transition can be easy with the 30 credit hours and the 2.0 GPA, but we recognize that there's some other things that you may be like, where am I going to live? What do I want to do? Do I want to get engaged in these programs? And so really getting you connected early on so that that transition can be as smooth as possible throughout that time because you're going to be going from a smaller campus to the larger campus. And so we want to make sure that that's a good transition for you. And then those courses together. So like I said, you'll take those classes together. So you'll take the history of art and the anthropology class. And taking those classes together allows you to be able to connect with your classmates in the classroom, but also having that academic benefit with our study tables and getting to work together and engage in that way. Both of those classes fulfill general education requirements for all majors. So it's not that you're going to be wasting time or anything like that. So we wanted to make sure that these will fulfill those requirements. In addition, another benefit with that is that we offer a 1 credit hour class each semester with the Learning Community Coordinator, which is more of a workshop-based program. So with that, we do in the first semester the transition from high school to college, helping you to make those connections, talk about resources, learn those skills that maybe you need some refreshers on, like time management. If you're a procrastinator, maybe you want some help with study skills or note taking because it is very different when you get to college. And so we're there to provide that support for you through that first semester. And then in your second semester, we'll take it again, but it's more of the leadership building, leadership skills, and building the team, and then also career development, getting ready for internships, and that transition to Columbus. And that is for these first 4 learning communities. I like this picture a lot. So this is a part of that workshop course where our students made a Take What You Need board, which was really fun because they got to make a bunch of Post-it notes with things saying, hey, this is what I need. Maybe a hug, maybe just a deep breath, maybe a call from mom, things like that. And then we hung them up around the school and our students were able to take those Post-its. And so we got to see how many people were engaging with that. It was really fun. Next is our engineering learning community. Now, this was created in 2014, and this is for 40 students. Now, with this program, these are for engineering and pre-engineering majors. So if that's you, this is the program you'll want to look into. The engineering learning community really allows students to engage with the major as well as the engineering profession. So some things that we've gotten to do in the past with this program and that we do every year, we get to tour the Center for Automotive Research and the Aerospace Research Center in Columbus. So those are engineering facilities that we have at OSU that our students get to connect with and engage with. But we've also gotten to take our students to see engineering facilities like the civil engineering. I took them a couple weeks ago to EMH&T, and they got to connect with civil engineers in the field and got to see the work that they're doing and learned about some of the current projects like on 70, which was really cool to kind of see how that work is impacting even us right now. We've also had engineers come into class from companies. We've gone to the Port Authority. So lots of ways to engage with engineers in the profession. With this program, a really great benefit is that you get to take your first year of engineering courses in both the autumn and the spring. So that is guaranteed if you're in this engineering learning community. And most students may not get that opportunity to take those fundamental engineering courses in their first year. And then again, that group studies course, that's that workshop-based course that I was talking about with the Buckeye Generation Learning Community. It's similar, but it has goals related more to the engineering field. So that's where we have engineers come in. We have engineering career services come in. So it's more geared towards the mission of the engineering learning community. So some other benefits, I've already talked about those connections with engineers in the field and that career-based experiential trip. So going to those engineering facilities and getting to really see the work that's getting done. But you'll also get that one-on-one support and those connections with your faculty and staff throughout the first year of your major. So our instructor for the engineering course, Dr. Jana Zuska, she is really great. She's worked with us from the very beginning and she teaches those classes and she provides our students support. She also does research. So as Wes mentioned, we're an R1 institution, Research One, and so Dr. Jana Zuska actually does research at the Aerospace Research Center, which directly benefits our area as well as the nation. So it's really cool to kind of get that experience, right, and see what our instructors are doing. And then taking those classes together, one thing that you'll notice within the engineering field is you take a lot of the same classes all together because it's a very rigid pathway. And so being able to make those connections really early on that are facilitated will help you throughout so that you can have that support while you're in class and outside of the class. I see my engineering students all over the place making connections and they have study groups and it's really fun to see. And then in addition, that support for the transition to Columbus campus. Next is our Scarlet and Gray Excellence Learning Community. So we started this program in 2018. And this is for 40 students who are interested in building those leadership skills and being immersed in a curriculum that is considering different cultures and realities. So you'll be taking a multicultural curriculum and then also helping to build support for developing that sense of belonging and respect for differences on our campus. So some of the benefits of this program is, again, that one-on-one support. You're going to see that theme throughout all of this. We really want to help our students in their first year. And so we provide a lot of support to help you through that first year and being able to get to Columbus. One of my favorite things with our Scarlet and Gray Excellence Learning Community is in conjunction with their environmental sciences class that they take in the fall, our students get to go to Stone Lab. So if you didn't know, OSU actually owns an island up in Lake Erie called Gibraltar, and that's where our Stone Lab is. So you have to take a boat from the mainland to Put-in Bay, and then you take another boat to Stone Lab or Gibraltar Island. And so we get to go there, we spend the night, we get to help with research, we get to learn about what they're doing. Last year they did like a fish dissection, which was pretty cool. We get to go on a boat and like catch fish and see what the population of the lake is. And I always learn so much about Lake Erie. And so it's a really fun trip to go on, but it also directly connects to the environmental sciences course that they take in the fall semester. So it's a fully paid for trip for our students. We take a bus, they spend the night, we provide all the meals, and they have a really great time overall. In addition to that, we'll take other smaller trips like going to Columbus campus to see how that transition will be. Our students are invited to connect with other learning community events and things like that. With this program, you'll also get a $500 academic scholarship, which will help to provide funding for books and school supplies. You'll get peer mentors. So that's another thing I'll mention here in a few slides. You'll have a peer mentor within these programs who will help you throughout that first year. They plan social and cultural events for you to engage outside of the classroom as well and build those connections together. You'll take those classes that I mentioned, that multicultural curriculum. So environmental sciences is one. And then in the spring semester, you'll take a sociology class with Dr. Espinosa. And so it's a really great way to connect again, take those classes together and have that core group of people. You'll also take that group studies course, the workshop-based course, and that's where we'll bring more guest speakers in the spring semester to connect you and get you more experience within our mission of our learning community. And then again, the support for the transition. Next, I'll talk about our Global Citizens Learning Community. So this program actually started in 2020. So that was a crazy year, but it was very exciting to start this program, which is for 40 students who are interested in global citizenry. So we really want students in this program to have an increased awareness of global interconnectedness. It will allow them to get more understanding across different cultures and around the world. And we have a lot of cross-cultural conversations. In addition, students in this program engage with the world community. So with some of our classes, students will get to connect with other institutions. So I'll share a little bit more about that in a minute. So some of the really great benefits is that our students will engage those experiences. So this year, our students got to talk with students from the University of Cairo, so the American University of Cairo in Egypt. And this coming fall, we actually, not this fall, but next spring, we're going to get to partner with the University of Monterrey in Mexico and get to talk with those students through the intercultural global interconnectedness class that they'll be taking in the spring, which is a new class that we're really excited to offer. In addition, with this one, our students will take a food world history class in the fall, which is always really fun to see how that class goes because one of their projects at the end of the semester is to make a dish from a different culture or from a different historical culture. And they have to present that as their project. So it's always fun to see like what different recipes students bring. So that's where we have those joint activities with other countries around the globe. So we engage with other campuses all around the world, which is really nice to kind of learn about their culture and get to share our culture with them. Again, you'll get that one-on-one support and those connections with the faculty. We also have priority consideration for our Ohio State-Newark education abroad trips. So if you're interested in education abroad, Ohio State-Newark actually offers quite a few options. I know in the past that they've gone to Canada, they've gone to London and Wales, we've gone to Puerto Rico, Costa Rica. So there's tons of options for you to engage in this. But we, within the Global Citizens Learning Community, provide priority consideration, which is a really nice opportunity for this. You take those classes together as a cohort, which again, you've got that core group of people that you're connecting with throughout the year and those faculty who are really invested in the program. Another thing with this program is you get a $500 academic scholarship towards maybe a service learning experience. You can use this for education abroad. So that would go towards any costs for your education abroad trip that you would need, professional development or a research project. So we've got the education abroad piece, but a couple other ways that you could use this are actually really interesting. I'll share a few examples of what students have done in the past. So a few years ago, we had a student who wanted to learn how to use a ham radio. So he used those funds to take classes, purchase a ham radio, get licensed to use it, and then he hiked the entire Appalachian Trail and used it as like a podcasting thing. So he would report out what he did that day and his findings, and that was how he engaged with that using that scholarship. We've also had students use this to purchase a camera and learn how to engage with photography because that was what they wanted to do. And then they actually ended up taking photos for us at our end of the year ceremonies where we celebrate our students' achievements from the first year. So it's really exciting to see all the different things that they do. I have a student this year who was wanting to go to Germany because he speaks German but wants to really immerse himself in the German language. And so he's using that as a way to get a plane ticket to go there for a month. So it's really interesting all the different things that you can use it for. And then lastly, that support for your transition to Columbus, if that's a part of your plan. So with those four learning communities, the Buckeye Generation, Engineering, Scarlet and Gray Excellence, and Global Citizens, our students in those programs have peer mentors or peer coaches. So these are students who were either in the program or are upper level students. They've got the experience, they're leaders on our campus, and they're there to help you throughout your first year overall, both personally and academically. We train our peer coaches so that they're ready and they can help you with problems that you may have, or even just to be there and like go to events with you and connect with you. And they can share their experience as a student versus like my experience as a staff member. Our coaches also are supplemental instructors. So, what that means is basically they're sitting in the classes with you for the learning communities, hearing what the instructor is saying to you, and meeting one on one with the instructor to figure out what they need to do for study tables to best prepare you for upcoming exams or assignments. So it's a really great benefit that a lot of students may not get outside of that space. So I really enjoy our peer coaches. As I said, I was a peer coach once, and our peer coaches are great and they are really passionate about this work. So then the last two don't have peer mentoring components. They're more faculty led. So our first is our education, teaching, and learning community, which started in 2016 and it's 30 students large. And this is for students who are majoring in education fields. So that's primary education, middle childhood education, teaching English to speakers of other languages, world languages education, STEM education, integrated language arts, integrated social studies, and special education. So if that's one of your majors, I definitely encourage you to apply for the education, teaching, and learning community. So with this, you'll have that one-on-one support with a faculty member to mentor you, to guide you through that first year in education. These are leaders in the education field. They've been in the field for a while. They are currently in the field and they're teaching. And so they want to help you to also be a great teacher. You do get a $200 academic scholarship with this program, and you'll have planned social and cultural events. So all of our programs have planned social and cultural events, but this one has a lot of focus on education. So having those events that are tied around that, but then also being allowed to come to all the other programs that we host as well. They'll have workshops like we have that facilitate that learning and that personal growth. And then they'll take classes together as a cohort, just as our other learning communities that fulfill education major requirements. So not general education, but those education majors. And then next, we have our Ohio Means Science Scholars Program. So this is our newest program. It started in 2022. And this is for 15 students who are majoring in anything STEM. It's a really great program. It was made possible by the National Science Foundation. We received a grant to have this program, and this has got a faculty mentorship component to it. So you're working one-on-one with a faculty member, engaging in research or internships in STEM fields to help you in the major overall and make those connections early on. With that, you'll have that strong support throughout the major, and you can get a scholarship for up to $5,000 per semester for 2 years, which is pretty large. If you look at how much it costs to attend, that pretty much covers everything and then some. So it's a really great opportunity for our students who are in the STEM field. So you can check out all the eligibility requirements on our website. It's u.osu.edu/OHMS. This is my last big picture slide, but I really like to stress the outside of the classroom component as well. As students, you're going to have a lot of academics, and that's very important, but it's also important to have some social life, right? And so we engage with our students outside of the classroom a lot through tons of different events. And so some of my favorite pictures are here. You've got us working at Hope Farms, which is an equine therapy assisted farm. We also have gone to Stone Lab, and a lot of our students end up getting to go. So the picture of the two girls petting the dog, that's Newton. He's their island dog. And we love Newton. We've got to see him for the last several years. We've had our backyard bash where students get to play cornhole, hang out by our fire pit, and just connect and hang out. We've done tie-dye painting. You can see them painting that jean jacket. One of my personal favorites is our cultural dinner that we host in the fall, where our students can bring a dish from their family or their culture and that we get to share it because I like food. So if you haven't guessed, so it's always fun to kind of see what students get to cook. Many students who maybe haven't cooked before. This is our first time making the family dish. So it's a lot of fun for that. So, with that, another big deadline. So, May 1st is a big day for us. So, that is the deadline to apply. If you apply by May 1st and it's for a program that has that scholarship component, that means that you'll be guaranteed to get that. You can apply after, but we are accepting applications, and then after that, we'll take a wait list. So you can see all of our programs at that general link, the go.osu.edu/NewarkLC. Otherwise, if you want to look at one specific program, we have our specific links here. I won't read them all, but I know we'll be sharing that out. Or maybe you've gotten calls from us already. So we've been calling out to students. But if you have any questions, please let us know. This is our email address, newarklearningcommunities@osu.edu, or you can call us at 740-755-7881. So with that, I want to thank you guys for your time.